These next 2 months are going to be a lot of feeding. Hey, what's up, you guys? It's me, Derek, the review, back again with another video. So we got our final trailer for season 5 of The Boys. Kind of want to advise this now, but I kind of hate the fact that when I did my previous trailer reaction for the teaser, I kind of didn't like the fact that Amazon copyrighted my video, and I was like, okay, so you really not gonna let us show the trailer, even though I see some other channels actually use the trailer in advance. I did repost it, but the fact that once it gets to the logo and then when the trailer ends, it just gets to me right just talking about, oh, so that trailer was blah 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 blah. It does have me commentating in between, but also it's like one of those, why Amazon are you copywriting stuff when anybody can just use trailers? Yeah, we'll get the once in a while copyright claim, but I'm like, if these guys are doing it, why not just give me a chance? That's another conversation for another time, but let's just talk about the show. Season 5 promises to be the end, but not just the end, but the end of this series run, because we already know there's some other show spin-offs in the works like VOT Uprising, even The Boys Mexico, which I don't even know how that's supposed to work, even though I feel like this finale is supposed to be like the end to this whole story, because I feel like, okay, if you're spinning off that show into Mexico, is that going to be like the Spanish version of The Boys? Where they have their own little Compound V element somewhere else. VOD Uprising is going to be a prequel with Soldier Boy, but I'm like, that's going to be cool to see. But seeing as though we get to see our main heroes and villains end on this one last run, hopefully we can actually try and pull it off, because it's going to be funny to say that whenever there's a series coming to an end, it's always a satisfying but dissatisfying ending. Where I feel like, okay, some shows they got their good ending. Recent ones where I feel like there should have been a lot of hype actually did end up disappointing us. I don't see that being the case here, because I already know that, yeah, just because season 4 was a little bit of a dip based on what we previously had, and Gen V season 2 proved, yeah, they still have it once in a while. It was just a story that feels like it had to get from a midway from A to B, and I feel like it got straight to B but without actually filling in some of the gaps. Hopefully, they could try to prove us a lot this season. So, in that case, let's get to the trailer, or hopefully, I'm gonna have to edit it because they're gonna actually take it out anyway.
My power is absolute. At heights no one's even dreamed of. But I have a bigger
Is
destiny.
this when he gets elected?
Oh, praise be. And what is it?
All right, let's get to work, yeah?
Oh,
Think that Homelander's
what's his name? I forgot the dog's name.
It's Vought's first iteration of Compound V. If Homelander got his hands on some, he'd be immortal.
Terra, that's his name. Just hit me.
We need to run while we can, however we can.
Marie and Jordan.
While it still works, and kill every fucking suit on the planet.
So we got some scenes fighting in the White House. And Soldier Boy.
I need you, Father. Did you fuck me? What? The second innocence thing? No. Then what?
Now that's a slight nod to the comics.
We need to prepare America for my ascension.
You want a boss now? Well, if you can't beat him, join him. Then fucking beat him.
Okay.
This is our last chance. The only thing we have left is hope.
It's beta male shit, bro. War, am I right?
The Deep doing an Andrew Tate podcast.
Those who seek to destroy me, the non-believers and backstabbers. I offer
But we don't see that.
oblivion.
Misha, Jaren. Oh. So we are getting that scene. Okay.
You guys are friends?
You talk.
At least they a little brought that back. Nice. For the final trailer, there's a lot of stuff I actually do like, but there are some, now I feel like I gotta worry about a little things that might happen that are a little bit spoilery if you haven't caught up with the comic, because I feel like, yeah, some shots are a little bit familiar, but Ew, I don't know about that if they actually do it. A couple things I want to point out is it's kind of funny how the same way Soldier Boy gets brought back is one of those Captain America situations like Bucky, where when Bucky was the Winter Soldier, they'd always bring him back for a mission, but seeing as though he's like, yeah, I retain the memories, but I'm not even sure if I still want to do this. I don't know what he's going to be convinced by since he knows that Homelander is his son to actually get into the fight, but we'll see how that goes because at some point I feel like he might betray him. Butcher's still out there killing people with his venom powers, or should I say carnage tendrils. Butcher's story is the one thing I actually kind of worried about this season, because I feel like the same way we saw, oh, he's going to just be going up against the Supes for one last job, and seeing as though, you know what, I need my crew to actually help me on this one, but seeing as though he's the only Supe who actually has the powers, I feel like it would be a missed opportunity if they don't all inject themselves with Compound V, because I feel like, yeah, there are slight nods to the comics, but I feel like since Butcher's the one who actually has Compound V in him and is still alive, I wouldn't be surprised if they actually try and do something like that. We get some shots of President Homelander in that last scene where you see him in the Oval Office. Part of me is like, oh, so they're really going to recreate that scene? Or is everything in the final season actually going to end up being comic accurate to the comic? Where I'm like, that could either be a good or a bad thing, because I feel like everything in the show, they made a couple changes to the story where I feel like some of them are decent because the boys comic is just hard edge humor. Almost every character they've translated onto the show is a better or minor improvement on their characters in the comics, but also some of the storylines where I feel like this seemed more extreme in the comic versus how it was done in the show, which I feel like it would have been a missed opportunity, but I'm not even sure if they could actually do that on network television. Even that little slight nod with Soldier Boy and Homelander where he's like, did you fuck me? What? No. Because that's the thing that actually happens in the Herogasm. Because I feel like, is that actually going to happen? Because I'd be scared if it is. But at least Black Noir didn't do something with this. All in all, I'm so excited for the final season. A part of me worries because I feel like from the bits and pieces I'm seeing, and I don't want to be on that guy where I'm like, okay, I know how the comic ends, and seeing as though the show is going to be going into its own thing, and then possibly going into that direction, I'm like, ooh, I'm not even sure if I'm gonna like that. But also, if this show can do a thing where they could actually do the comic ending, but actually try and do it justice, in a case where everybody expects some, oh, the final season was to end up being the worst season of the show, which I'm like, yeah, that doesn't always work out because I feel like just because they didn't like or satisfy their needs in the final season doesn't mean, yeah, this is still based on source material. And if they're gonna do the source material justice, those would be one of those things where I'm like, I don't think it should be. But if they make fun of that idea within the show, since they're actually pulling off their own little meta stuff, I wouldn't put a bad idea towards it because I feel like if they are going to make fun of final seasons and not ending up the way it's supposed to be, I wouldn't be surprised if they actually try doing that in this season. All right, guys, thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. All my social media is down in the description below, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye, guys.